What a beautiful day, a fall day, and the leaves are falling everywhere. Free soil. I have seen so many videos on leaf mold. You know what leaf mold is? I'll tell you something. I didn't even know what leaf mold was not too long ago. I was thinking of mold. Leaf mold is another way of composting Mother Nature's matter, which is leaves. It doesn't matter what kind of leaves you're breaking down, because it's all going to break down into one thing: compost. Leaf mold is compost. Now, a lot of you saw my video when I put this together. This is turmeric. Turmeric on a table. All those pieces I had, I didn't know what I was going to do with them. They were growing in a tote, no soil. I didn't have enough soil. I didn't want to go buy potting soil. So what did I do? I took the leaves off the bottom here. These leaves. All these leaves that were piling on the chairs and piling everywhere. Go back and watch the video. From this great big pepper tree. Scraped them all up and threw them in there and planted all my turmeric. Now, yes, you're saying, hey, it looks a little sad now. It does, because next month we're going into winter and this is going to completely die back. Our nights are down into 38, 40 degrees, and it's just too cold for turmeric and ginger as well. So it's struggling, but let me tell you something. When I tip those, I'm going to have so much turmeric for next year and so much to use this year. It's going to be unbelievable. And you know what's best of all? There's no soil in here. All this that I planted in that is now broke down as these plants were growing grew in free Mother Nature soil made from, as some people call, leaf mold. Now, it wasn't leaf mold. I know some of you are screaming, no, that's not leaf mold. No, it wasn't leaf mold. It was leaves. Just brown leaves piled everywhere. They were piled on the chair. They were piled on the ground. I just scraped them up and threw them in there. So they weren't leaf mold. But they're leaf mold now. So now we can say, yes, look, I made leaf mold. And while I was waiting all summer, because I didn't plant this until summer, it turned into all this beautiful matter. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? All from the leaves. What I'll do with this later, maybe I'll do it with you, is just going to tip it all, clean it up, and I'm going to wait. Not right now, but tip it all out, put it in a wheelbarrow, get all my turmeric, because this is all turmeric. That's all that's in there. And then I'll mix it all up together. I'll probably put it all together in a wheelbarrow. Maybe I'll mix in some more leaves. And then get ready to plant in the spring when the weather starts to warm. In the meantime, I'm going to be eating a lot of turmeric. I'm going to be freezing turmeric. And I'm going to be storing turmeric to grow later. Now, why am I talking about this? Let's walk through my junk pile here. Oh, and by the way, that ginger that I had to cover because the rabbits get up here and eat, that's also growing in leaf matter. Just leaf matter. All this matter. It's not just leaves. It's little tiny bits of branches, because these leaves have these little bits of branches, but all that on the ground is soil. It's free soil. All that in there that I'm going to take out can be potting soil right now. Well, let's walk over here. Here I have branches all year. I don't throw anything away. If I can, I keep it, and I'll throw those in totes. See, this is what I grew in. Look at that. Just grew in that, but keeping it wet, it broke down. These are just trash cans that I throw things in, but this is what I wanted to show you. Here's a trash can. This is leaves. Cleaned up leaves and branches and stuff with leaves on it. And I started using this the other day and I never talked about it with you. Look at this. Oh, it's going to break down more, but who cares? It will break down and my plants will grow. And the further I go down, the more it's going to be darker. Now, why? Because it's been rained on. Isn't that gorgeous? It's been rained on. It's been kept damp. And this is an old trash can with holes on the bottom, which is perfect. Now, some people pack them up in plastic bags and tie them and put them to the side. If you collect leaves off the ground, I don't care what kind of leaves you collect, whatever trees are dropping leaves. Now, this is an evergreen, but it drops all year. Now, if you put them in a plastic bag and tie it, it's not going to break down. When you open it up a year later, it's going to look like brown leaves in there. It might have a little bit of mold if it was damp in there, but it's not going to break down. In order for anything to break down, it needs water and oxygen. If you can remember that, you're good to go. So this trash can has holes. It's been rained on, and it could have broke down quicker had it come over here with the garden hose or a watering can and water it. Then it will break down more, because your microbes that are breaking everything down in there, they need water, but they need oxygen. That's why if this filled up with water, it wouldn't break down. It would just turn into muck. It would just rot. But when you let the microbes go in there, all the fungi and everything that goes in there, it will eat that down and turn it into potting soil. The same thing that happened over there with my turmeric. I planted in it long before it was anything. And yes, I know you're not supposed to do that. I know, I'm sorry. I hear this all the time. That's wrong. Okay. I am one to do things wrong. I always have been. And you know what? 90% of the time it works out. So what you can do if you're in an area that you're not covered in snow yet, because I do not recommend going out in the snow and pushing the snow away and looking for your leaves. But if you are still in a cold area where your trees are starting to drop their leaves, I suggest for next spring, you'll have it ready. I know some people say a year, but you know what? It will start to break down. And yes, heat makes it break down a little quicker. When I say heat, you know, the nice warm weather. But the point is, collect the leaves, go rake up what you can. Don't go on a hillside and risk your life. Just rake up what you can. Go under the trees. As the trees are turning beautiful red and yellow and orange, rake those leaves up and put them in something that drains well. If you've got totes you're not growing in right now, throw them in there and just forget about them. Don't do anything. You got a trash can with holes, throw it in there. You got a cardboard box, you want to do that, throw it in there. Don't worry if it gets snowing on, whatever happens to it. But come spring, when the weather's warming up, go through it, because remember, the top won't break down, but the bottom will. Start digging in there, and you should have enough in there to get you started to start growing in the spring with your own free soil. It's compost. It's the same way Mother Nature makes it. All those leaves coming off those trees there, all over, are going to break down all fall, all winter, and even into spring. And then things will start to grow. And they're growing in not the bottom. They're not coming up from 8 inches down. They're coming up from the top, just 1 inch down, where the seeds are sitting in that beautiful damp leaf mold, which is really a compost. And as soon as they know it's the right time to grow, they're going to burst into life, and you'll start saying, if you're in an area like us, all the weeds growing, oh my gosh, they're not supposed to grow, but they will, because they're being fed by Mother Nature's wonderful soil. As some people call leaf mold, I just call compost. You know me, I grow in compost, take my kitchen scraps out, dump it in a tote, and just grow. I don't wait for it to break down. It works for me. But the leaf mold, go ahead and collect leaves. This is the perfect time to do it. It's a nice time of the year. Get bundled up, walk around. Your neighbors will think you're crazy. Just tell them you're cleaning up the property. Rake up the leaves and put it in a container that you can periodically wet if you don't get the rain, and make sure it drains. If you've got drainage and you can keep it, you know, together, like a container of some sort of trash can, a tote, a barrel. Some people make wire cages, and that's perfectly fine if you want to go to that trouble. You just get some wire, roll it up, and then just start filling it up, and it will break down. That's fine. I'm looking for something that I don't have to work. I have enough work. I've got too many gardens. So I just throw it in totes. There's an old tote I've got there with holes. I just let the leaves fall in there. I throw some leaves in there. Flower pots. Got any flower pots from the nursery that you're not using? They have drainage holes. Load them up with leaves and forget about them. Put them off to the side. Put them somewhere you don't have to see them, but maybe the sun will shine on them. Yeah, sun is good. And if you don't have a sunny area, put in the shade. I have it both ways. And you will have your own free soil in the spring. When you start your gardens, you go outside. It's beautiful and sunny and starting to warm. You're going to say, hey, I remember collecting all those leaves. And you're going to run back there. And even if it's not completely broke down, but it started really good, you can even get some potting soil if you want, mix it up and use it, or use it on the top. Use it as a mulch. But no matter what, you collected it. You got some good exercise, and it was free. And it's perfect. Why is it perfect? Because Mother Nature made it. And that's always perfect, in my opinion. I better go collect some more leaves. So quick recap. All you have to do is collect some leaves, and you can grow in it right away. Oh, don't do that. It's wrong. Don't do as I do. You do it your way, but I tell you something. Try it. Set it up, and then grow in it. Your leaves are going to turn into the most beautiful free compost. And look at all the turmeric I grew in straight leaf matter. As it was breaking down, my beautiful turmeric was growing. Okay, that's my way. Have a great day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.